from the Checkerdome in St. Louis, Missouri. Sports Channel presents New York Arrows Soccer. Tonight, the New York Arrows beat the St. Louis Steamers. Game 3 of the best-of-5 MISL Championship Series. The series all tied at 1-1. Hi, everybody. Steve Albert along with Nick Zlatar, and we are just underway from a packed Checkerdome, the mecca of indoor soccer. Capacity here is 17,931. They expect upwards of 17,000, perhaps even 18,000 this evening. The St. Louis Steamers in blue and the traveling New York Arrows in the white. Chet Messing in goal to our right, Slobo Ilieski in goal to our left. Just seconds into the first quarter, this is Greg Villa, who leads the Steamers in playoff scoring. Gino DiPolito is your referee. Jeff Mantell is the alternate. The senior referees here this evening. And Steve Jungle right there on the scene. And a big day for Steve, co-winner of the MISL MVP along with Pittsburgh's Stan Terlecki, just announced today. Now the Steamers control. Tony Bellinger on the far side. Marked by Franz St. Lot. Gets it back to the neutral zone. Now here's Greg Villa, number 11. Marked by Juan Carlos Machia. Villa banks it off the boards. Loose ball in front. Comes free to Machia of the Arrow. Good move by Gomez to elude the grip by Petcher. Gomez. Sheila off the boards past the foot of Gomez, and back comes St. Louis.
An excellent opportunity. New York could not convert, and the team that scores first will be the tough one. I think the first goal-getter will be the winner tonight.
St. Louis won the first game 3-2 in overtime at the Nassau Coliseum Friday, May 14th. Arrows came back and won 5-3 at the Nassau Coliseum on Sunday, May the 16th. This is game 3. Tony Glavin continues the takeover now. And the Steamers continue. This is Larry Holzer, number 15. St. Lot with a defensive play on Cacciatore. Around the Glavin, and it's corralled by Chet Messing. 12:50 to go.
Tremendous intensity here in the beginning. It's a standing room only crowd, and this is only the spirit that can be emulated in a championship game.
They average around 17,000. As I said, capacity crowd here is 17,931. Soccer is so huge here in St. Louis. In fact, 15 of the 20 on the St. Louis roster are from the United States, and to expand on that, from St. Louis. There's Glava on the give and go to Cacciatore, and it's grabbed by Chet Messing. He rolls it out, and the Arrows on the attack. Here's Kitson. Watched by Rose, kicked out of there by Slobo Ilieski, top goalkeeper in the MISL with an astounding 3.85 goals against during the regular season. Here he is now, and he whips it all the way down. Stranicer, though, cuts it away from Glavin, and it's headed back by Simic. Going to be recovered by Tuchel, the top defender in the Major Indoor Soccer League. We've got 13 All-Stars here between these two teams on the field tonight.
Well, the old saying that the cream rises to the top, and it's surely so. The top team from the Western Division against the top team of the Eastern Division. They've met 5 times. The biggest difference has been 2 goals.
11:53, Nick, remaining in the first quarter. There's a break in action with the score. The Steamers nothing, and the Arrows nothing. Ilieski outlets it down to Villa along the near board. Simic on top of him. Now Jungle works it free, and Dragon Simic, number 20, boots it across field for Val Tuchel, the veteran. Marked by number 9, Don Ebert, St. Louis's top scorer in the regular season. Tuchel on a great backheel feed from Steve Jungle, and Tuchel is upended. Violation against the St. Louis Steamers. Jungle has a word or two with Mr. DiPolito, and the crowd getting on Steve, and he seems to feed on that, though. He loves it when the crowd.
Well, he's not protesting the call. The call was justly made, but I think that he's protesting the fact that should have been a 2-minute delay. Ebert kicked Tuchel right in the legs, took him down, and very early in the game, Jungle wants to make sure that the referee protects his teammates.
And the direct free kick for Jungle off the mark. Tuchel left puts it to the crowd.
And, that's a matchup that we saw last time at the Coliseum, Tuxa and Ebert. There's not too many good feelings between those two players. They've been going around pushing, shoving, kicking each other. And it'll be a New York kick-in right here. The referee says the ball was flipped off by a St. Louis teamer. New York will kick it in.
Yes, there has been some bad blood, not only between the two guys you mentioned, but Liverich and Petcher also went at it earlier in the series.
Well, the St. Louis team's play some very, very high intent. They're not afraid to kick. In fact, Rose and Petcher are the two top leaders in penalty minutes in the league. So they'll take their kicks in.
Paul Kitson recovers for the arrow. Simic down, slides it over to Clavillo. Now here's Kitson again, marked by Petcher. Back to Clavillo at the point. Liverich. And on that confrontation, the ball goes back to St. Louis, and Gino DiPolito with a word with Steve Petcher.
And Gino very early wants to take control of the game. This is the most important game, in my opinion. The winner of this game will be in driver's seat. Should the Steamers win, it'll be very difficult for them to win the third game. But if New York wins it, they're on their way for the fourth championship.
It has been non-stop to this point. Nikitovic, Slobo Ilieski, who likes to wander, able to break up that play.
Well, Slobo, in my opinion, he and Zoli are the best players, goalkeepers with their feet. At that time, as you mentioned, he came out a little bit farther than normal to try to collect the ball and was beaten by Dragan Nikitovic.
And here's Nikitovic now, number 12, out of his own zone. Fernando Clavillo off to Simic. And he dumps it into the St. Louis zone. And Ty Keogh gets it back to Slobo. Carl Rose, long feed to Villa. He's got some daylight. Left footer is high off the plexiglass. Rose and Karasi together along with Clavillo.
Let's see, Carl Rose, a former New York Arrow in the first year, scored 11 goals in 44 games during the regular season. He has 5 in 7 games. So he's really a dangerous defender. In fact, he got one last Sunday at the Coliseum.
Number 2, and he just fanned on it. Carl Rose almost added another one. Still no score. 9:35 to go in the first quarter. A header by Don Ebert. Scored 52 goals during the course of the regular season. Last year's Rookie of the Year. Clavillo, number 14. Across the midfield line. Here's Karasi, a magician with the feet. Goes into his act right there. And but he is pulled down. And the call against St. Louis, Steve Larry Holzer pulling Karasi down.
No doubt about it. St. Karasi made sure. Now watch. Here he comes, makes some great moves. Here comes number 15. Larry Holzer pushes him down. And St. Karasi goes down, making sure that it's not missed.
Karasi back to Nikitovic. The drive is wide. Clavillo gets it off the boards. Fernando accelerates to his right. Looks to center it to Karasi. Bottled up, though, and taken away by Tony Glavin. Nice move around Karasi. Using the board well. He stopped at the midfield line by Clavillo. And Glavin recovers. And the centering attempt broken up by Shep Messer. Another whistle.
Yes, there was a foul called up against the board. And it'll be a Steamers ball. You can hear the reaction of the fans when that gentleman, Gino DiPolito from Yonkers, New York, makes a call that's in favor of their blue team.
8:40 remaining in the first quarter. Still no score. To the penalty area into the near corner, and Fernando Clavillo scoops it up off the boards for Omar Gomez. Gomez gaining speed down into the attacking zone. He's got some room. And a little tapper into the hands of Slobo Ilieski.
A great penetrating dribble. That time Omar was just about a half a step behind the ball. Otherwise, it would have been a one-on-one with a keeper. And here we see how far that goalkeeper dares to come out.
Well, Slobo likes to come out. He picks up assists. He has 1 goal this year. Perhaps his fantasy is to be a forward. Ty Keogh, you're looking at number 10, who will be off to the San Diego Sockers at the end of the playoffs to play NASL soccer outdoors and indoors. Another St. Louisan.
Ty probably is the best soccer player to come out of this area in the last 15 years.
Charter member of the MISL. Here's Chila, number 4, flanked on the right by Gomez. On the run. Boy, Gomez looks sharp. Still no score. Larry Hulser gets away from Stan Karasi. Glavin feeds Rose. Blocked by Machia.
And again, we see some close marking. You notice that so many shots are blocked. That happens when everybody's playing in each other's back pocket.
Jungle Gomez.
I'll tell you, Steve, New York looks good. They're playing with confidence. They're taking the opponents on, and this is a sign of a team that's going to jump ahead. Now the key is not to make sure that they overcommit on attack. Stay balanced, play good defense, win some balls, and the goals will come. Sounds easy, doesn't it?
Yep, Cacciatore. Here's Glavin. Sheila and Glavin conversing, and a whistle again by Gino.
Well, the referees are certainly calling this one very tightly. You know, we've got 6 full-time referees. Every one of them is on assignment tonight.
Here's a break of the action with a score. The Steamers something, the Arrows something. Barely in, and Slobo stuck out the foot for the save. Jungle's down, Nick. Jungle is shaken up on the play.
There was a foul on the play, Steve. The alternate referee, Jeff Mantell, called it, but the referee, Gino, could not hear it because of the tremendous full-capacity house here. The trainer, Bobby Baldwin, will be coming on. It's a one-on-one. Here we see him breaking through at the red line. Now watch. Here comes Petcher. There you see the kick after the shot. And I'm surprised that this is not a 2-minute penalty. We get another view. Now look at Steve Petcher take his legs out at him. Steve has had some problems with his ankles, and certainly that kick didn't help the situation. Now he's saying, you know, Mr. Referee, I can't take this all the time. You've got to protect me. Law 12, what is fair and not fair, you've got to call it.
Been an injury-plagued playoffs for Mr. Jungle. You can see the soft cast on his right hand. He broke a bone in his hand earlier in the playoffs.
And you know who he's looking at. We don't see it on camera, but the player that he's looking at is Mr. Steve Petcher. And saying, please, they only have 2 of these. Don't break them now.
Good point. Still no score. And Sheila's shot is blocked by John Stremlau, former Ironman of the MISL before Mr. Jungle came along. Don Ebert waits for help and shovels it cross field.
Greg Villa, number 11, the man with the ball. He's about 6'2". He's one of the tallest players in the league, and he can do some damage. With his strength and power, he goes to goal very well. Missed a lot of the season because of injury, but he's their top goal getter in the 7 playoff games this far.
With 5 goals, 7 assists. Machia spearheads the attack. Gomez up on the right. Marked by Stremlau. All the way back to Chila. Boy, it's a warm day. It's in the 70s here in St. Louis. You know how humid it can get here in Missouri, and it's just as hot inside. With all the fans, 17,000 strong.
And you can be sure that will become a factor in the 4th quarter. The temperature will rise 10, 15 degrees. And it gets hot down there with fatigue coming in. That might be a factor in the 4th quarter when the legs get tired.
They battle for it along the near boards as Machia tumbles over. Look at Petcher shoving at Gomez. He didn't hear the whistle, apparently, by Gino DiPolito. And DiPolito screaming at Petcher as he walks away.
Well, Steve wanted to get the advantage of the call, put the ball in play and play it quickly. But the referee, one of the key things that Gino wants to do now is make sure that he is the one in charge. So you see him calling everything, calling it closely. Make sure that all of his mechanics are perfect. He does not want to be an influence in this game.
5:45 remaining in the 1st quarter, no score. Here's Ebert. Nice play by Machia. Here's Gomez. Jungle breaking to his right. To the left he goes to Machia. In front for Jungle. Back to Machia. Save to Elievsky.
I tell you, Elievsky has been the key for the St. Louis team. He is magic.
Goes against a 3.93 here in the playoffs with a record of 5-2. Val Tuchschedow in on Ty Keogh and Carl Rose. Slides it to Sandlot. Sandlot number 17. Looks for help. And Vila kicked it into the seats. It'll be Arrows' ball. 5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Still a scoreless duel here in this game 3 Game number 4 will come Sunday here in St. Louis. And then game 5, if necessary, Wednesday, May 26th at the Nassau Coliseum at 8:05. Tuchka on the kick in. And it's booted out of play by Petcher.
In the playoff games that St. Louis has had, they have outscored their opponent thus far 6-4 in the first quarter. But it seems that it may wind down to a 0-0 duel at the end of this one.
Gene Stratoser headed off the glass by Slobo Ilievsky. Cleared but not out by St. Louis.
And there you saw the skill of Slobo. You know, in the amateur league during the off-season, he plays a central forward, goal-getter. And last year, he scored over 100 goals in his amateur league.
Wasn't it Pele who once said deep inside every forward is his desire to be a goalie, and it probably works opposite as well.
That's right. He gets tired of all these guys taking those bombs at him. He wants to get a couple back.
All right, here's Gene Stratoser, Arrows veteran. Number 19 is Redmond Lane out of Cork City, Ireland. Tuchka using his body, and then Lane trying to get it over to Glavin. Broken up by St. Lot. Now here's Kitson, who backheels to St. Lot beautifully. Arrows looking very impressive, even though we're still scoreless. 4:05 remaining in the first quarter.
You're exactly right, Steve. They look poised. They're playing very well. And one of the things that I think is very important, they are playing shoulder to shoulder with the Steamers, not backing down on any of the tackles.
Jungle, but a whistle before the shot. I believe a holding violation against Jungle, so it'll be St. Louis ball deep in their own zone. Big story here, not only these two teams, Nick, is the support here at the Checkerdome. Loud crowd, but it could work to the favor of the Arrows.
Well, look at this. A little bit of a spinning move. He gets a good shot over, but the referee called a foul. You notice that Tony Bellinger had his arm around Steve.
Now Tuchka goes down, and the call against St. Louis, and the crowd getting on the referee, and so are Steve Petcher and Redmond Lane. You might be able to hear Gino.
And you saw what happened. Steve Petcher running half the field. Now you notice that semicircle that the players are standing on. They are not allowed to come in inside. That's encroachment. That is the referee's private area. Only they can come in there. And that time, very, very quickly, without thinking, Gino DiPolito whipped out that blue card. There's Jeff Manteau saying, go back and play. Steve Petcher has been known to antagonize the situation, is walking back, shaking his head in disbelief, but has been inevitable for that blue card to come out. You can try the referee's opinion only so long. And next time we get a close-up of Gino DiPolito, look at the wings. There you go, right on his shirt. That is a FIFA badge. That is an international badge. Very few referees in the world have that. Only 2 in the United States. He's one of them.
You sound like a former referee.
No, but he's a good one. I'm not the biggest fan of referees, only the good ones.
Well, that's good praise for Mr. Gino. Oh, the shot by Nikitovic, and it's Corral in front. Man advantage situation. They just announced the penalty against St. Louis. Here's Jeff Cacciatore. Loose at the side, and Jeff picks it up. Simmons. The penalty assessed to Tony Glavin. So the man advantage. What do they call it, tripping?
Yes, they call it when he hooks her down. That's when the blue card came out. So New York playing with a man up.
All right, here's Gomez centering for Jungle. Broken up in front.
That's a great save by Steve Petcher. He just toe poked that out of the way. Otherwise, Steve would have slotted it for the first one of the game.
Now Tuchka. Right into the breadbasket of Slobo Ilievsky. The Arrows with 5 man advantage goals and 10 opportunities here in the playoffs for 50%. Tuchka's down again. Play getting very physical here in the first quarter. And Bob Baldwin on the scene again.
Bob Baldwin is getting his workout early here in the first quarter. It's a good thing that he's a jogger. He takes it. Now watch Steve. He just follows through. He sees that there's no way. In fact, if you watch his eyes, he doesn't even look at the ball. He is going barreling right into Tuchka, takes him down. Val, no doubt, will be back. And don't be surprised if those two tanks meet.
So Val Tuchka, his 3rd year with the Arrows, 6 years with the Dynamo in Yugoslavia's first division. You can see more action between Mr. DiPolito and the players. 54 seconds left on the Tony Glavin penalty, and still no score. 2:37 remaining in the first quarter. Here's Nikitovic, slides it over now to Simic. He's got Tooch on the right, Simic. Over to Nikitovic on the left. His shot is blocked by Sam Vick. Back it goes, headed by Nikitovic to Simic. Simic lets it fly, hit the post. Nikitovic now. His shot was blocked by Vick, and the Steamers clear. 30 seconds to go on the Glavin penalty. Valtucha motors in. Here's Machea, drills it. 25 seconds on a penalty. Nikitovic with a left footer. That's blocked. He gets it back to Simic, though. 15 seconds on the St. Louis penalty. Maybe one last rush here. They can organize themselves. 7 seconds on the penalty. Here's Omar Gomez. 3 seconds on the penalty. Oh, Simic with a drive. It's stopped by Slobo. Glavin's out of the penalty box, and they're back at full straight. Look at that work by Slobo Ilievsky. Okay, balancing act.
Now can you see why he plays the central striker position? Slobo Ilievsky doing some tremendous functional juggling and keeping the ball away from the opponent, doing a scissor kick to get it over. Now he's lying down enjoying a little bit of a rest. In 7 seconds, he'll get up and he'll be back to normal. But St. Louis kills penalties better than anybody else. Better than 72% efficiency. And that was a great opportunity to score a goal, but good defense. Now watch this. Here comes Slobo coming out. Omar Gomez is going to put pressure on him. Now watch. Ready? Pop, 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 scissor, yes. Now you know he loves it.
That's one for the highlight package.
How many times do you see a goalkeeper doing that?
First time I saw it.
But you know, an important thing happening right now. The St. Louis team is not coming off a penalty-killing situation. They're tired. This time now is like a timeout. Their first shift now, which killed our penalty, has had a minute rest by Slobo. Slow recovery back to normalcy. And you can see the next shot that's taken, Slobo will be as good as normal. One of the things that I'm concerned about is that the game continues very, very quickly. And we don't have a lot of injury or delaying tactics in the game.
Nick, here's part of this huge throng here. We'll get the official figures later, but they say they could have over 17,000.
I think it's closer maybe to 19, Steve, because they had SRO signs all day, and I think they applied to the fire people to allow them to put more people into the arena.
We don't want anybody breaking the law. All right, here's Carl Rose. Still no score. 1:25 remaining in the first quarter. The former Arrow over to Greg Villa. Nice move to his right. Shovels it over now. Back it comes to Villa. Left footer, he scores!
And there you saw Greg Villa. His nickname is Mel. Turn around. He's got these fans standing up. Now watch. Zlatar comes in, pulls the ball back. Left foot, foul post low. It's decided and net in. Excellent goal. South Ricardo comes across to Villa. Villa lays it up to his right to Stemlau. Back heel back. Now watch Villa. Left foot first time low. Step straight. Nothing to do about it. And the Steamers go on 1-0 with a 1:17 remaining in the first quarter. He's got him cheering.
So Greg Villa with his 6th playoff goal and a great feed from Stremlau. At 13:43 of the first quarter to make it 1-0 St. Louis. Villa leading the Steamers in playoff scoring now with 13 points on 6 goals and 7 assists. 1:05 remaining in the first quarter. Look at Mark Liverich, who's looking for his 3rd playoff goal.
And it's funny how the fortune changes. New York dominates. St. Louis scores.
Clavillo keeps it alive for Kitson. Marked by Keogh. Pass intended for Liverich. Picked off by Petcher. He drills it out. And a nice play by Clavillo to keep it away from the Steamers. Here's Liverich now. Gaining speed along the near boards. Takes Ebert right out of the play. Ebert wanted a call. Nothing from Dippolito. Here comes Villa again. He is emerging as some kind of a star here in the playoffs. He's big. Greg Villa. Left puts it over to Ebert all alone. He shoots. Oh, what a save. A slap save by Shep Messick.
Danny Ebert is left-footed. That time he paid a price.
And Ebert nearly had one there.
But again, when a player is too one-sided, that time again, the second chance he had, the ball came to his right foot. Couldn't get all of it. Shep had come out. Empty netter, couldn't get it. It'll be a corner kick for the Steamers.
Shep has made some dazzling saves here tonight. 25 seconds left in the first.
Watch, the Steamers are very dangerous on this.
Shattering pass and dumped over Petcher, screaming at Dippolito for a call. He's been on his back all quarter long as Kitson brings it down with 15 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's Kitson across the red line. Slides it over to Karasi. His shot is into the seats and out of play with 10 seconds on the clock.
And the Steamers off the ball. Cielig and Gino Dippolito. They wanted a penalty kick. Off that restart, they saw that Villa got tripped up in the box and wanted a penalty kick.
Al Trost over there, a former Arrow, the coach of the St. Louis Steamers. Born and raised here in St. Louis, just like a good percentage of the Steamer club. Clock winding down, 5 seconds of the first quarter. Cacciatore with a shot flutters into the hands of Shep Messick, and that will do it. That is the end of the first quarter here in the Checkerdome. The crowd on its feet with the score. The St. Louis Steamers 1 and the New York Arrows nothing. 15 minutes complete here at the Mecca of indoor soccer, as they're calling it, the Checkerdome in St. Louis, Missouri. Steve Albert along with Nick Zlatar between periods 1 and 2. And the Arrows are trailing by the score of 1-0, and it is all that it is cracked up to be. Great crowd, great atmosphere tonight.
Unbelievable, and I think this game is going to be the war. It's a must game for the Steamers. I believe so. And they've gotten off to a good start.
Two great goalkeepers, Sloboy Ilieski, Shep Messick, and a great goal provided by Greg Villa from John Stremlach. Good way to open up the scoring for the Steamers.
I think it was very important for the Steamers to put the pressure on. New York can play better than anyone when they're going away. Once they get you on defense, they just control the game. Now they've got to come back. But one of the mistakes that the Steamers did before is that they tend to hold back a little bit. They've got to keep running and keep coming at them.
Now, prior to the game, were you thinking in terms of a high-scoring affair? You've got two very explosive teams. This, for indoor soccer fans, is a dream matchup, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This was the same two teams that met last year, kind of a déjà vu situation. They meet very frequently, and it's only a 1 or 2 goal difference. I kind of had a feeling, and I have a lot of friends out here in St. Louis. I predicted New York 6-4. We'll see how correct I am at the end.
Well, the last time they got together in the championship game, it was a one-game situation last year here at the Checkerdome, over 17,000 on hand, and the Arrows pulled it out. Final score was 6-5 as Steve Jungle scored with 30 seconds to go. So we'll see what happens here tonight in Game 3. The series all tied at 1-1. We'll be back with the second right after this message. We're underway from the Checkerdome in St. Louis. The Steamers lead it 1-0 on Greg Villa's 6th playoff goal. They switch sides. Shep Messick to our left, Sloboy Ilieski to our right. Steamers control in the New York zone. Here's Keogh cutting left footer, and it's stopped by Messick.
Well, Steve, I mentioned the fact that the Steamers outscored their opponents in the first quarter. In the second quarter, their opponents have outscored the Steamers. So perhaps we'll get a reversal of the event here.
Here's a fine save coming up. Keogh off the left foot, and Shep Messick able to sprawl to make the stop. Glavin. Holter centers. Glavin scores.
There he is, the Scotsman. He's the dynamite. Number 22 gets the shot. Shepard makes the first save, goes back. Larry Holster digs it out. Plays it back off the boards. Comes diving in. Number 22 tucks it away for the second goal. He did that 34 times during the regular season. And there he is, comes sliding through off the boards. And he's got him cheering. 2-0 for the Steamers.
They call him the motor man. Great two-way player. You saw him on offense. His fourth playoff goal on the dive in front on a pretty feed from Larry Holzer. Now the Steamers, as Nick pointed out, jump out to a 2-0 lead. Oh, a ferocious drive by Machia. And Slobo Ilieski, I think, is on top of the ball, and he's hurt.
Slobo taking a beating here at that time. I think we'll get to see it again. Now watch, here comes Machia dribbling right down the middle. It's a good left-footed shot. Now Slobo can't hold it. Steve comes in. Now you notice he goes over the top, not trying to hurt him. But I think maybe perhaps either he or Steve Petcher got a piece of his head, and he's feeling it right now.
All right, Nick, there's a break of the action with a score. The St. Louis Steamers 2, and the New York Arrows nothing. Aggressive play continues. Slobo Ilieski apparently all right, and he gets ready to kick it.
And Slobo right now is wondering who his friends are on the field. That time he got kicked in the head by Steve Petcher. He says, wait a minute, I thought you were with me.
Speaking of Steves, this is Jungle. Jungle banks it off the boards, looking for Kitson in front. Broke it up by the Steamers, and Glavin clears it out. And the Arrows recapture now. Kitson for St. Lot dumps it in, and Slobo will handle it. Now here's Billinger. Robin at midfield, dumps it back to Petcher. St. Louis setting up Ty Keogh, marked by Franz St. Louis. Here's Keogh. Slides it into the corner for Holzer, marked by Machia. Comes back down to Keogh, crossfield. Fans yelling for a call. They'll get it. It's against number 4, Renato Chila, for the hold.
Well, the home side cannot do anything wrong right now as far as the fans are concerned. Every chance.
There's a goal. Tony Bellinger off Chet Mensing to make it 3-0 Steamers. Exactly 2 minutes into the second quarter.
Tony Bellinger, a product of South Jersey. And the Steamers have exploded for 2 quick goals in the first 2 minutes of the second period here. Here we see a shot. Now the ball comes right to the top. Thunderous shot. Chet sees it a little bit late because of deflection of the 22. And he gets it. Now watch. Number 22, Glavin, is in the way. Chet doesn't pick it up right away. Gets a piece of it and deflects it himself into the corner. But in any event, a big shot from outside the box. And it goes in.
Bellinger gets his 3rd playoff goal. Keogh gets the assist, 2-minute mark of the second quarter. 3-0 St. Louis. The Arrows in a hole here in the first half, looking to come back. Vila cannot clear it. Rose will do it. He'll dump it all the way down. Ebert. And Shep is there.
I tell you, a crazy situation out of nothing. Val Tuchsa fell down, and Don Ebert was all alone.
All right, here's Gomez in the corner. Setting it up. Flips it to the other side. Bick clears. Strenister now.
But St. Louis is, everybody is back. All 5 of them are defending. And they just kick the ball up forward. They've got to keep possession of the ball.
Oh, Simmons hit the post. Good feed from Steve Jungle. Villa racing downfield. Drives it too high and wide. Kept alive. Shep tapped it aside for Strenister. And Tuchsa delivers it down to the other end. And down went 2 players, Villa and Gomez. Make it Bick and Gomez. And
well, it was a 50-50 ball. Omar wanted to get a slide in there to try to just to tip it away and maybe play it off the board to himself. Referee called a foul. Good honest attempt.
Dragon Simic and Jeff Cacciatore bang into each other. Now here comes Rose. Ulcer at midfield with Simic. Rose again. He's got Cacciatore breaking in. Glavin on the other side. Broken up neatly by Strenicer. Rolls it out now to Gomez. Backpedaling on defense. Carl Rose. Gomez and Cacciatore. The Steamers just all over the place, swarming on defense.
But Gomez doing an excellent job in keeping the ball. He can dribble around like no one's business.
Backheel jungle, and Simic just tried to flip it up over Slobo. He couldn't get any loft on the ball, though.
I tell you, Slobo is the difference. He certainly was in the first game at the Coliseum that the Steamers won. The first half of the second game, he was magic. And again, so far, he has stopped at least 4 easy goals tonight.
1-on-1, Nick. Jungle and Rose. Jungle shoots, saves Slobo. Now, that might have been the save of the night. 1-on-1 from point-blank range. The two All-Stars, head-to-head.
Well, he came out, offered his body, fully extended himself in front, and blocked it.
The arrows continue. Here's Gomez. Gomez. Oh, he scores! Beautiful head and shoulders fake, and he put it in behind Ilievsky, and it's 3-1 St. Louis.
Oh, this is magic. Omar Gomez getting another goal, but this is a very big one. This is the one that puts him on the board. Now watch this great individual move. The goalkeeper thinks he's going off the board. Now watch. Fakes to the inside, goes to the corner, and now he shoots. Everybody in the stadium thinks he's playing it off the board. Sees Steve Zungel coming out, carry out the defender, the goalkeeper, but he takes it himself to the low post. Omar Gomez gets his 8th goal in the 8th playoff game. He has been invaluable.
4:42 the time of the goal. Gomez's 3rd goal of this series with St. Louis. The arrows are on the board. Strenicer picks up the assist at 4:42. 3-1 St. Louis.
But you know, Steve, this game, or these two teams are contrasting in many ways. One of them is the fact that New York has the greatest skilled players. Each one of the players in New York is I think, a much technically superior player to the St. Louis team. And that's a good example. Player took it on his own, dribbled and finished the game. And this is what makes great teams.
Toughest thing in sports is to come from behind and overtake your opponent. And keep in mind, it's even tougher when you're away from home. So we'll see what happens.
But again, let's see if we can notice whether St. Louis, I think they've already begun to fall into the trap and play a little bit too conservative. After they scored that 3rd goal, they've stopped running. They come back and play defense. They've got to continue and keep going at the attack. 3 goals is not enough to protect here.
And you just can't sit on a lead in this sport. Indoor soccer can't be permitted. .9:35 remaining in the first half. The Steamers on top by the score of 3-1. We'll be back with more action on SportsChannel Sunday night on tape delay. Game 4 from St. Louis. If it reaches Game 5, it'll be back at the Nassau Coliseum Wednesday, May 26th at 8:05 p.m. Now, slow ball. Looks downfield and fires, looking for Villa. It bounced over his foot. And I think they're calling that back a 3-line violation.
It was a handball. It was a handball over there, but it happened. There was the Outros rookie coach. He, in fact, coached the All-Star team. The West was the winning coach there. Got the St. Louis blue on. And there's the winningest coach in this league, Coach Don Popovich. We don't see his best side, but that's him.
Don returning home. He's got a spot in his heart for the city. He played for St. Louis, and I think he met his wife here.
Yes, exactly. Connie, his wife is from this town, and he's got lots of friends here.
Ebert with a sky ball. Ron Ebert, #1 pick of the Cosmos back in 1979, 2-time MISL All-Star. Another St. Louis product from Southern Illinois University. Shep Messing did not play the last game. The Arrows victorious 5-3. Last Sunday, Zoltan Toth put on a good show in the Arrows goal. Shep played the first game. The Steamers won that one 3-2 in overtime on a goal by Tony Glavin.
Well, Shep and Zoli have been alternating, so don't be surprised if you see Zoltan in the go Sunday.
Slobo coming out to clear it for Keogh down the sidelines for Ebert, one-on-one. Now, good play by
Very good
Rajavac.
open field tackle, yes, by Rajavac. He came up, good tackle.
And Nikitovich lets fly with the left foot. Sam Bick corrals it to the far corner, marked by Liberich. Rajavac comes to help out. Keogh gets into the middle of things, and he sends it to Redmond Lane, number 19. Seeing spot duty here this evening. Here's Ty Keogh, number 10. 11. Great move around. Sheila, love it. Saved by Shep. Oh, he's quick.
I tell you, Glavin, you can't take your eye off him for 1 minute. He is the one guy on the St. Louis team that can do things one-on-one better than anyone else. He is always a threat.
3 goals, 3 assists in the playoffs. And Karasi shoots it wide. Looks for his own rebound. Backheeled by Glavin for Redmond Lane. And a great tackle again by Rajavac, but the Steamers recapture. Tar Rose at midfield. Steamers lead at 3-1 with 7:45 remaining in the first half. Here's Ty Keogh. Broken up by Karasi. Can't clear it. Here's Tony Glavin now. Cuts left, now right. He shoots. Rolling save by Shep. Redmond Lane on the doorstep. And Shep grabs hold. Dangerous play violation against St. Louis. And Gino says play on. Here's Rajavac. Rajavac across the red line. Rajavac closing in. He fires it. Looking for somebody in front. Bick can't clear it. Headed by Rajavac. Liberich to Kitson. Kitson turns. Slides to St. Louis. Hammers it too high over the crossbar. Arrows keep it alive. Kitson cuts left. Kitson with a sky ball high into the seats. There's a break of the action with a score. The St. Louis Steamers 3 and the New York Arrows 1. Flurry in the goal crease. The Steamers have just scored their 4th goal. We'll wait and see who gets the goal. It might be Tony Glavin, who you're looking at right now. Regardless, it's the Steamers up now by the count of 4-1. Just as we came back, they put it behind Shep Messick. Have to wait for the official call, and this big crowd on its feet again. Tony Glavin coming in, as you can see. Yep, it's Glavin.
Inability to clear the ball. I think Redmond Lane came in, played it back, and that's right, that's Lane. Everybody's coming over to congratulate. Tony Glavin gets his second one. And St. Louis Steamers have really busted out for 3 goals here with almost a little bit less rather than 7 minutes to go in the second quarter. They lead 4-1.
So Tony Glavin, his second goal of the night, is 5th of the playoffs. Redmond Lane assisting at 8:04 to make it 4-1 Steamers. Hayes out there, John Hayes, number 21, the rookie for the first time. Steve Petcher delivers it into the New York zone. Steve Jungle. As the ball goes into the seats out of play, and we'll see who last touched it. Jungle getting a big rest there, so he should be ready to roll. He has 16 goals in the playoffs, Nick.
You'll be sure that Steve will be heard of tonight.
Here he is now. Can't get behind the defense. In this case, Tony Bellinger, the New Jersey All-Stater. Ulcer bumping with Machia along the boards. Shep picks it up and scoops it out to Kitson on the far side. Kitson with plenty of real estate moving in on Petcher. Gives it away to Cacciatore, and now here's Steve Petcher of the Steamers. Back to Slobo. He taps it over to Bellinger. He has the goal tonight. Sliding tackle by Chila. It also brought Hayes down. And the whistle against Renato Chila.
I tell you, they got the St. Louis bench up on their feet. It was about 15 feet or so in front of their bench, and they thought that was definitely a 2-minute violation. Here we get to look at it again. Now watch the sliding tackle from behind, but he goes for the ball. Johnny Hayes goes down, grabs his back because he landed a little bit hard on that asphalt turf. Looks up at the ceiling, says, where am I?
Trainer Bill Jennings on the scene. Al Trost pacing behind the Steamers bench. 32-year-old Al Trost, who played for the Arrows in 79-80, star at St. Louis University.
Well, Al is known as Captain America from his performances for the United States national team, having been a captain of that program for a number of years, the senior citizen now, and right after he finished his career, right away, became a coach.
Time out. Wait a minute. A senior citizen at 32, what does that make you? It's 4-1 St. Louis, 5:37 remaining in the first half.
And the Arrows coming out and putting pressure on the ball, not allowing the Steamers to play, causing turnovers. Here we see it.
All right. Machia back for it. Hayes with a near steal. Now Hayes and Machia pumping, and it'll be St. Louis ball on the violation against Juan Carlos.
I'll tell you, Johnny Hayes' main asset is his speed. He can get away from people. And that time we see a good turnover, but Machia made a tackle. The referee thought it was not fair, called a foul.
Here's Sammy Beck. Cleared out of there by Saint-Lot. Browns plays it off the chest. Lead pass down to Jungle. Violation against New York. Jungle 16 goals, 8 assists in the playoffs with 24 points. 16 goals, a new MISL playoff record, but keep in mind there are a lot more games this year in the playoffs. St. Lot was leveled, and they go back the other way.
I'll tell you, I hope we get the stats to see how many fouls have been committed, but this is, very seldom do we see more than all 15 to 20 seconds of play being allowed to continue without a foul or some kind of stoppage of play. This, I think, hurts New York much more than the Steamers because they're not allowed to establish their rhythm.
Sam Beck, Greg Villa scored the first goal of the game. St. Louis is oozing with confidence right now. They've got the 4-1 lead here in the late first half. Too long for Villa. And Gino with a pushing call against the New York Arrows, and the Steamers will continue in the attacking zone.
There's still plenty of time in this game. 4:32 in the second quarter. The Arrows need to just go maintain composure, work at it, get the second goal, get the third goal, and keep coming.
All right, Shep rolls it out to Gomez. Right wing for Tuksha. And his shot is blocked by Bellinger. Oh, there's no way you can count the Arrows out, not in this game. Here's Jungle. And back at the top of the penalty area, Don Ebert rolling over in agony. Somebody apparently got him.
Well, Donnie was called for obstructing on Gomez as he went through. Now, Ebert is not seriously hurt because he just rolled 15 feet on the floor. Usually when you're unconscious or severely hurt, you just lay there, and you see him pointing the finger at the referee. Now, what he's saying is, hey, I'm going to get him. Gino DePueto doesn't believe it. Now, watch. Right now, here comes the elbow. Boom. Right into the left mandible. Here we get another view. Now, watch the right elbow of Omar Gomez. And you know that hurt because 145 pounds coming up at you. Now, watch. Don't be afraid of some retaliation. You see all that finger pointing and smiling? All of that is directed to Omar Gomez.
You originated that play, didn't you, a few years ago? Playgrounds?
No, that's not how you make friends. You think he's older than that?
Well, I get the feeling, Nick, that those two will not be double dating after the game tonight.
Well, he wants to make sure that he gets the license plate of that truck. Omar Gomez, his problem now is not to be intimidated.
Well, Don Ebert, a 52-goal scorer during the course of the regular season, is sidelined momentarily. Boy, he got crushed. Now, Steve Jungle gets it over to Gomez. Shot blocked by Keogh. 4 minutes to go in the first half. 4-1 St. Louis, and more physical play as Bellinger went down.
Well, Simic that time was called for obstructing. Tony Bellinger wanted to go over him, and it's a foul. But again, that stoppage of play, not allowing the teams to get into their playing rhythm.
Well, as you point out, there have been a bushel of fouls, but yet only one penalty back in the first. Lavin, the man who was penalized, Vila's shot winds up high into the seats. And it is quickly returned. Good throw. One of the 17,000 plus, as Nick points out, perhaps upwards of 18 or 19,000 packed into the Checkerdome this evening. Game 3 of this best of 5 MISL championship round. The series tied 1 apiece. Pass intended for Jungle too high. Bellinger crunched by Jungle. Now Simic comes to help out. Spencer at midfield. Tuksha, look out for Petcher. And he clobbers Tuksha. And Gino with a blue card.
And again, Gino didn't think twice about it. I think Petcher knows. But I tell you, there is fury out there. Steve Petcher into the penalty box. But I tell you, that was instinct call. The play where the throw was made. Immediately run into center circle. Val Tuksha is still down. Although the fans are booing the call, I think it is a good call. Now watch, as soon as that ball comes through, watch this tackle. Makes contact with the ball first and then follows through and gets all of him. Again, the second opportunity for New York to get with a man-up advantage. They must score here.
Dutch Petcher in the penalty box, pushing 11:25. It looks like he's getting lectured.
Well, that's the judge. That's the official in the penalty box. And he's telling to Steve, just relax, be calm, get your composure. Steve, a very intense individual. He's the captain of this team. You hear him mouthing off now to this alternate referee, the assistant referee. You know, emotions run very, very high. You can see this full capacity house in here. And they are supporting him.
Golden opportunity for the Arrows to cut the deficit in half. 3:35 remaining in the second quarter. They've got the man advantage. Here's Tuksha with a stutter step. Just an inch or two over the crossbar, cleared by little Jeff Cacciatore. Down to the neutral zone. Tuksha trying to get it away from Redmond Lane. He does. Here's Dragan Simic, number 20, across the midfield line. But that little guy Cacciatore is everywhere. Now here's Simic.
I tell you, Cacciatore, 5'4", little dynamo. He's a buzzer. He runs, never stops.
Nikitovic. And Slobo.
Slobo is the man. Without Slobo, this is a completely different team. He gives them an extra dimension.
Nikitovic clears it down to Gomez. Man advantage for the Arrows. 2:50 left of the second quarter. 4-1 St. Louis. Here's Simic. Drills it over to Gomez. He shoots. He scores. And they do. Cut the deficit in half. It's 4-2 St. Louis. Jungle and Slobo having words right now as the fans throw debris on the field.
Here we see Simic, excellent midfield players, gets it over to Omar. Now watch Omar, quick toe poke, gets it away from Sam Bicker between the legs. Now look at the quickness of his release. He'll get the ball back from Dragan Simic. Get it back to Gomez. Now watch this instant release. Ready? One, shoot between the legs and the back of the net. The key is get that shot off, quick release, and very few people can do it better than Omar Gomez. On the ball, he is one of the best players in this league. 2:43 remaining. The score is 4-2, and we've got a barn burner. Remember I said 6-4? Can New York get the next 4?
We shall see. As you gaze into your crystal ball, Slobo Lievsky hands on hips. Omar Gomez, Nick, with both New York goals, his 9th of the playoffs, a man advantage goal to make it 4-2 at 12:17 of the second. Carl Rose. Now here's Redmond Lane on the far side, of course. Plenty of time left in this one as Steve Jungle closes in. Great save. Oh, and Nikitovic saved it, but by Glavin. Carl Rose will clear it.
Oh, I tell you, Steve. I hate to have the feeling that Coach Popovich has in his stomach now. Watch this save. The ball comes to Dragan Akitovich. He shoots. Look at Glavin. Off the line. And now the ball comes back. Look. Shoot again. Now the ball gets intercepted by Rose. Great opportunity. But we come away without scoring one.
2 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Kitson on the far side, marked by Bellinger. Centers it, and Redmond Lane clears, but not kept alive by Machia, and Bellinger this time slides it all the way down. Shep Messing will pick it up in the New York zone. Fetcher's still in the box for another minute. 1:40 to go in the first half. Arrows down by a pair, 4-2. Here's Machia as the Arrows set it up. Gomez in the corner, broke it up by Bellinger. Couldn't be cleared by Redmond Lane. Now Glavin will grab hold. Chased by Karasi. Look at Glavin go. Little Tony Glavin. Great ball control. So he killed off some more time. Minute 15 to go in the half. Here's Jungle closing in. Rams it off the corner boards for Gomez, looking for a hat trick here in the first half. Karasi to Machia. He shoots, he scores! And it's 4-3, St. Louis. One, Carlos Machia with a low drive to the left of Slobo Ilieski.
Oh, I tell you, that ball just went flying into the stands. Machia, the most improved player from the beginning of the season, is playing with confidence and vigor. Great goal, Carlos. But watch this. Here goes Karasi, lays it off. Left-footed Machia shoots, low foul post. There it goes. 3-4, and I tell you, 2 goals, 2 man advantage goals. Here we get another look at it. Gets the crowd up. But now, this is a tough situation here. We've got a lot of tempers flaring. Don't forget now, 2 goals have come up with a man advantage. Carl Rose came over to the bench, said something to Coach Popovich, and there is some heavy emotions going on out there.
Look at the security surrounding the Arrows coach, Don Popovich, protecting the Arrows bench. Machia with his second playoff goal from Karasi. And it closes the gap. 4-3, 48 seconds left of the half.
Well, you know, Steve, at the beginning of the season, St. Louis was saying, we want New York in the finals. We know we're going to be there. They got off to a great start. They kind of about them and lost a bunch of games late in the season. They said, we know we'll be there. We want New York. Because as you said, they lost 6-5 with 30 seconds to go here a little bit over a year ago.
In front, Ebert. Oh, a great save by Shep Messing. Shep equal to the task with Ebert right on the doorstep. 15 seconds remaining in the first half. And play is stopped for the moment. Pushing against St. Louis. Arrows will take over at midfield. 2 consecutive man advantage goals, putting the Arrows right back into it. Trailing by 1, 4-3 after trailing 4-1, and earlier 3-0. Slobo with 5 seconds to go in the half. That will just about do it. Reisevac picks it up. So that brings the curtain down on the first half of play here at the Checkerdome. The crowd somewhat subdued, with the Arrows coming on strong, scoring the last 2 goals of the first half. So we'll come back and recap things in just a moment. The score at the end of one half of play, the St. Louis Steamers 4 and the New York Arrows 3.
With me is a person very well known to the soccer community in the New York City area, Mr. Yepremian. Krikor, what are some of your ideas on the very, very exciting first half?
Well, Nick, this is indoor soccer at its best. We have an excellent crowd, sellout crowd, a lot of scoring, and 2 excellent teams. I mean, the MISL, even if they planned it, they couldn't have done such a good job.
I tell you, this is a storybook. Coming into the arena today, being sold out, looking at that sign, standing room only. Doesn't that do your heart good?
Yeah, and we're hoping that we'll be able to do that in New York, Nick. We tried very hard this year. We didn't achieve the goals that we had in mind. We're looking forward to next year. We've already started our season ticket campaign. We have already have people out there who are pushing for indoor soccer, and I think that it's going to happen in New York too, real soon.
I think so. You know, a number of people that come that I know for the first time, they say, hey, this is the greatest game I've ever seen. How do we get them into the arena?
Well, patience. We try hard, and we have to have a lot of patience because, as you know, there is a lot of entertainment in the New York area. We have to make sure that we get our share, and that's what we're working for. I think that the New York fan is sports-oriented. There's a lot of sports going on in New York, and I think once they find out what we're all about, in a period of time, they will all come out and enjoy indoor soccer, and we have the best of indoor soccer.
Well, that's for sure. This is the 4th season of the MISL, and here we have a team going for their 4th championship, the New York Arrows. Krikor, one of the secrets to winning, or rather to getting the people in, is a winning team.
Well, we have had the winning team. This is our 4th time we've been in the championship series. We have won 3 of them. We're hoping to make it 4 in a row. I think it takes a little bit more than that, Nick. We have to go out into the community, work with the community, get to the people, bring them in, show them a good time, entertainment, and that's what we are planning on doing next year.
Well, on a serious note for a second, you know, what about all these rumors now that myself and some of the other people have been hearing? Yes, the Arrows are going to stay at the Coliseum. No, they're not. Can you shed some light on that?
We have no intentions of moving right now, Nick. We never said we were moving. We said that we are looking at other options, but as of right now, there is no plan of moving from Long Island. And we are going in with all intentions of staying at the Coliseum. But again, the future, nobody knows, and we will wait and see what happens. But as of right now, the Arrows have no plans of moving from Long Island.
Okay, because I know the hardcore fans, certainly the boosters and those other people, you know, they would be really disappointed because in the 4 years, you really have established some very, very goodwill with the community, and I hate to see that go.
We have some diehard fans, and we will do everything we can to give them the type of entertainment that they deserve. I think they have been with us for 4 years. I hope that they'll be with us for another 10 or 15 more.
At least I hope so.
Yes.
But let's look at this team now, the St. Louis team, or kind of a contrast of teams. Here are kids that are all grew up basically within, 100 miles or so. Missouri, Illinois. Some of them have gone to college. Some of them have played soccer together since they were 5 years of age. We know that Long Island is one of the biggest hotbeds of the country. When can we begin to expect a similar thing with the Arrows and the Long Island All-Star players?
Well, we had Peter Giannetti. Unfortunately, he hurt his knee and got knocked out after the first game that he played. We had high hopes for Peter, and we were planning to use him extensively this year, develop him and bring him up slowly. He's only 19 years old. We still have high hopes. He had knee surgery. He's coming along very well, and next year he'll be in our plans. We're also going to look very hard to recruit 1 or 2 young players who can help us in the future. We want to Americanize. We will do everything we can to use the talent from Long Island.
But, you know, and I certainly am all in favor of Americanization, but I think what everyone has to understand that you cannot afford to give up quality of players for Americanization.
Nick, that goes without saying, and we have some quality players on the team. Shep Messing is an American. We have 3 or 4 other players. Michael Collins. They don't come to mind right away, but we have about 4 or 5 American players, and we want to bring 1 or 2 homegrown players. That's what I think our fans want. They want Long Islanders, and we're going to work on that.
Okay, and I'm sure you will succeed, as you always have in the things you've undertaken, Krikor. But before you leave, before I let you get away, you know, I predicted 6-4 New York. Am I alone in this arena to think so?
Nick, I never predict until after the game.
Playing it safe. Thank you very much, Krikor. And we'll be back for more MISL action right after this.
Albert and Nick Zlatar back here at the Checkerdome in St. Louis, Missouri. Halftime where the St. Louis Steamers are out in front of the New York Arrows by the score of 4-3. St. Louis led 1-0 at the end of the first 15 minutes, and each team scored 3 goals in the second quarter, thus making it a 4-3 St. Louis lead. Taking a look at some of the highlights in the first half. This is a shot by Tony Glavin. And I believe this is the first goal coming up by Greg Villa. No, it's Tony Glavin scoring.
That's Tony Glavin running into a space, coming off the boards. And I tell you, Glavin, you've got to keep Glavin away from the boards. With me right now watching the play on the play is the former coach of the Steamers. Last year, he was right here coaching the Steamers, Pat McBride. Now he's with the Kansas City Comets. Had a good year, turned it around. And, you know, looking around here, we've got some outstanding soccer people watching here. Rick Benben, the Olympic coach for the Midwest, he's here. So everybody who is anybody in soccer in this area is doing it.
Nick, we have supplied Mr. McBride with a SportsChannel microphone. Pat, make sure before you leave the Checkerdome to leave the microphone with us. Don't take it home with you, okay? But it's nice to see you. What do you think of the first half?
Well, I thought the first half was St. Louis had a chance there when they got up 4-1 to kind of put the game away, I thought. And then Patch really took, okay, so Gino gives him 2 minutes. And then for him to carry on and get an additional 2 minutes was really poor, I think. I think once he assesses the 2-minute penalty, Patch has got to go straight to the box because they're up 4-1. And that really hurt. But I think New York got back in the game with the 2 late goals.
Gino really looking to take charge of this game. Very physical first half of play. We're going to take a look at some of the highlights of the first half. The first 4 goals. The first one coming up, Pat and Nick. This one coming at 13:43 of the first quarter. Going to be provided by Greg Villa, number 11, as he got it by Shep Messing. John Spimlau assisting. The second goal coming up will be the 4th of the playoffs by Tony Glavin. 44 seconds into the second period. This is the one we saw before.
Ball comes back to Glavin, diving in. Franz Taylor was there with him, but both dove in at the spot, and Glavin gets it.
You know, I think Nick also does. The one thing was that Lucia had to really take the board away, and he didn't do it. And Hulser was able to sneak the ball across.
All right, after Bellinger came the Arrows first of the night, fellas, and this is Omar Gomez with his first of 2 in the first half. Gomez has been playing so well all half long and all playoffs long. The 5th goal of the night coming up, and this is going to be supplied by Mr. Glavin again.
There again, Pat, one of the things we see so often now, you got to get rid of those rebounds. Once the ball comes off the board, you got to play it out. We've seen 3 goals now coming back where the ball was hung around the area. Nobody dared to clear it.
For sure, and I think that's really a tough job for a defender, and that's where I think Slobo has an edge as far as the goalkeepers are concerned, because he's so confident with his feet, and he's able to come off the line and play those balls with his feet. But I think, you know, as far as the goals that St. Louis scored against Shep, I don't think you could really fault him on too many. Perhaps the one where he could have came out and cut the angle a little bit better, but it was tough.
And I think most of the goals, with the exception of the shot by Bellinger, were kind of opportunistic. Nothing really prepared, but just boom, boom, thank you, ma'am, and put in the back of the net.
For sure, I think Villa's first goal, Stremla gave him a great ball, and, you know, I don't think Shep, it didn't look like he was really prepared for the shot, and Greg hit it.
Pat, before I let you get away, I'm putting everybody on the spot like everybody's put me before. What's the end? We're halfway through.
Well, I really like St. Louis. I think St. Louis can wrap it up here, Nick. I think they can win tonight.
Ooh.
And if they do, the way this town is and how crazy they are as far as the Steamers are concerned, their emotion alone will take them, will help them through the game on Sunday. So I feel they can end it in 4 games.
Well, I think this will be the key game. Pat, thanks very much.
Thanks for having me.
Pat, thank you.
Thanks.
Pat McBride, former St. Louis coach, now the coach of Kansas City in the MISL. 4-3, St. Louis as we get ready to start the second half. It has been a dynamite ball game. Gino DiPolito doing a little housework. Make sure everything is intact. Game 4 Sunday, right back here at the Checkerdome. It'll be a tape-delayed telecast on SportsChannel. Check your local listings. And then on Game 5, if necessary, at the Nassau Coliseum Wednesday, May 26th at 8:05. Here we go, third quarter. Arrows moving to our left. Sloboy Lieski and the goal to our left. Shep Messing back of the nets to our right. On the field for the Arrows, Franz Salat, Gene Strenisser, Fernando Clavillo, Steve Jungle, and Omar Gomez.
And Omar's going into the penalty box. Very early, 14:43 to go. And the Mr. Referee is putting Omar Gomez into the box. So I tell you, those penalty boxes have really gotten their work tonight. 3 players from St. Louis, and now the first one for New York. And New York will have to defend with a man down. Now look at this, huge judge. That's Donnie Ebert. Omar Gomez kind of gives him his back. The referee gives it to him, so you can be sure they are going to call it very, very close.
17 seconds into the third quarter. Omar Gomez, who has scored 2 of the Arrows' 3 goals this evening, is on the sidelines, and it's a man advantage situation now for St. Louis.
But you know, Steve, they have yet to score a goal in the man advantage situation in this series, and not only in this, in their entire series. And they also had the worst record during the season, only 22% in man advantage goals. So the opportunities are for New York to defend.
You realize that's the kiss of death. You just jinxed the Arrows. Here's Jungle. Cuts to his right. He's got an open net. He hit the outside of the post. He had the ocean, and he hit the outside of the post. Back comes St. Louis short-handed. Ebert. Oh, a great save by Messing. Great end-to-end action. Here's Jungle again, looking for his first goal of the night, his 17th of the playoffs. He lets it fly off balance, and Slobo able to clear it to Root.
Hey, but I tell you, when Jungle misses a hanger like that, you can be sure that he's going to punish the crowd for the rest of the game. That would infuriate him. He hates to miss a goal any chance, but especially an open netter.
Greg Villa centers it. Rose with a bouncer into the hands of Shep Messing.
Kyle Rose, all alone, didn't do well, didn't get enough foot on it. Otherwise, could have tucked that away.
The Arrows have come out flying. They're short a man, though, trailing 4-3 early third. Hope you enjoy the action here on SportsChannel live from the Checkerdome in St. Louis. This is Greg Villa, crossfield pass. Streblau, high. And it winds up into the seats.
This is really hurting St. Louis tremendously. The fact that not only do they not score, Steve, but more importantly, they don't create opportunities in that man advantage situation. There you saw a good example of what happens when you don't look up, take your time, and strike the ball. But you know, when somebody has scored over 100 goals in one season, what can you say?
Well, even the Lord of all indoors can have a rusty moment.
103 times in 40 games did he dent the net. That time, it wasn't to go, and certainly that was one of the easier opportunities.
Here's a steal by Karasi with Gomez just coming out of the penalty box. He cuts to his left. He's got room. In front, Kitson, he scores! And we're tied at 4. Paul Kitson on a pass from Omar Gomez, who just streaked out of the penalty box to tie it up.
I tell you, I'm so glad for Paul Kitson. You know, he came out smoking the beginning of the season, had a couple weird injuries, you know, a foot, an ankle, a head. Now watch, Stan Karasi, the senior statesman, he is a genius on the soccer field. Now Omar Gomez beats a man, turns him. There he is, number 16, Paul Kitson tucks it away. Paul scored 33 times during the regular season. Here we see a low angle. Again, a good turn on the ball by Gomez. Slides it across, tuck it away. And you know, talking to Paul before the game, he knew he was going to score some.
The man who played for Elton John in Watford, England, before he came over to the United States, Paul Kitson, is third of the playoffs from Gomez to tie it at 4-4. The goal at 2:28 of this is the third.
But you know, I got to mention Stan Karasi. In addition to this team, there he is with the ball right now. You know, he is, I said, a genius on the soccer field. He's got great vision, great skills, and he has the stature on this team. He played in the World Cup. He's been there. And this is the kind of a player you need in a championship game.
Nice move by Larry Hulser. Cleared all the way down by Shep, looking for Jungle. Jungle and Bellinger, elbow to elbow, and a whistle by Chito against New York.
Both of those guys are wearing bands, or rather casts, on their right arm. Tony Bellinger had a serious injury about 3 years ago. He always plays with that. It's a protective device. Steve, as you mentioned, broke a bone in his hand and has to wear that cast temporarily.
All right, Nick, 11:25 remaining in the third. We're all tied at 4-4. The Arrows coming back, scoring the last 3 goals after trailing 4-1. This is Kyle Rose into the New York zone. Rose coughing it up to Renato Chila. Rose with a pretty back heel to Sammy Vick. And a pushing against the arrow. St. Louis full by their red line. Ty Keogh on top of it. Cleared by Chila.
Steve, you notice how the crowd has gotten a little silent? You think that fourth goal? There's nothing to like shutting the crowd up by scoring goals.
Particularly when your team was up 3-0 and 4-1. Sammy Bick now sliding, stopped by Reisevac, who's a little bit shaken up on the play, gets up. Great play by Reisevac.
A little bit shaken up. Sam Bick back-heeled him in the chest. I tell you, that will slow anybody down.
Tony Glavin looking to race in, scramble in front, cleared out of there by Karasi. Whoops. Ty Keogh taking the scenic tour, but it's taken away by Nikitovich of New York. Here's Reisevac. He's got Liverich on the left, Karasi on the right. Reisevac has looked smart tonight. Liverich.
Watch Karasi. He's got to get the ball. He's the guy that makes things happen. There he goes.
Chila. And Slobo comes up with it. 4-4 tie with 9:55 left of the third quarter. Down the sideline for Glavin. Glavin and Reisevac. Reisevac falls on top of the ball and takes a seat.
The sliding tackle on the foul call against Mike Reisevac this time. Couldn't get away with it. The Steamers will put it back in play.
Puts it in. St. Louis takes a 5-4 lead. Tony Glavin with the hat trick.
There he is, the flying Scott. That man is a scrapper. You know, he had a broken leg. You see the New York bench now watch. Restart. Ball goes off the board. Comes running into space first time. Top post low. You know, the Steamers, now once again, off the board, right to him, to a given spot. And, you know, they practice hours and hours on this. You know exactly where to hit the ball. It's right by the MISL sign. Nothing the chef could do about it. And now, again, the Steamers forge ahead, 5-4, with 9 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
The goal by Glavin. There's a break of the action with your score. The St. Louis Steamers 5, the New York Arrows 4. 35 and counting in the third quarter. 5-4 St. Louis. Here's St. Lot looking for Liverich. St. Lot gets it back. It's cleared by St. Louis all the way to the neutral zone. Juan Carlos Mejia. Cross field of Al Tuksha. Lost control for a second. Now he regains. Good recovery by Tuksha. Now here's Liverich. Broken up again by the Steamers. Villa. Nice pitch. And the shot is wide by Bellinger.
Shep came out, cut the angle down. Tony had to go over him. Put it a little bit too far to the side.
Good play by Petcher to break it up. Incidentally, that last goal, Glavin 6. A hat trick at 5:14. Steal by Villa. They bunch up against the boards, and the violation against the Arrows. It'll be St. Louis full in the attacking zone.
But you saw Greg Villa a little bit upset about himself. He had a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, came out, pushed the ball a little bit too far, and sure enough, Shep came out and shut him down. The skill of dribbling with speed and under pressure.
Stremblau feeds it right in front to Petcher. Shot is off the mark. Liverich corrals it. And Kitson now. Kitson motors it. Hurdles. Plays it off the boards for somebody in front. Broke it up. Tuksha racing back to clear it over to Juan Carlos Mejia. Long feed to Steve Jungle. So far held off the score sheet tonight. To Kitson. St. Lot back to Mejia as the Arrows organize. Jungle and Bick. Bick shadowing Jungle. Jungle looking to take it away. Good play by Sammy Bick, number 17.
Sammy Bick another one of the St. Louis defenders that we're talking about. He is playing the best soccer of his life, I think. I've seen the player now for about 8 years, and he's really having an excellent season. But you know, Steve, one important factor as this game begins to wind down into the fourth quarter, New York is using more players than the Steamers.
Nice save, slap save by Shep Messing on the drive by Larry Holzer.
St. Louis is going basically with two lines, whereas Coach Popovich is getting more and more players in. With this heat, the pressure, you know, the fatigue beginning to set in the fourth quarter, that's when those little things begin to happen.
Omar Gomez with the hat.
You think he's looking for a hat trick tonight? He's got two.
He needs one more. Tony Glavin of St. Louis has the hat trick. Here's Glavin now for Ty Keogh. Kyle Rose.
And Steve, you know, in this town, when you get a hat trick, the people actually throw the hats into the arena. You know, it's a good thing they don't do that at the Coliseum, because Google would have a collection of hats. He's done it many times.
Lucia putting Holzer to the floor, and he's going to go off for two.
Here we're going to look at it. The ball comes onto the board. Now watch. Juan Carlos comes down. Tackles. Larry Holzer also pushes him, puts his arms up and says, "Who, me?" The referee says, "Yes, you. Go have a seat on the other side of the field." Juan Carlos, a forced 2-minute break, giving the opportunity to the Steamers to get another goal further ahead.
Penalty coming at a bad time. The Arrows trailing by one. Late in the third quarter. Man advantage St. Louis. 2 minutes pushing at 7:53 on Machia. Now here's Villa from the angle. Oh, he just missed the mark. Jeff Sendobry, number 3, out there for the first time, and Ebert scores on the pass from Sendobry. And it's 6-4, St. Louis. How do you like that, Nick? They send out Sendobry for the first time, and he picks up the assist.
Well, that's his job. They use him on the power plays. He's got a thunderous left foot. They put him on the left side. And that time he drilled the right end. Donnie Ebert standing all alone in front of Shep. Now watch. There's Sendobry. Now watch this big left foot. Donnie Ebert on the receiving end. Inside of the right foot deflects the ball into the corner. Again, ground action. Good strong drive. Ebert just uses the force of the ball to deflect it off his right foot. And a big smile comes to the bearded face of Donnie Ebert. I tell you, 6-4 for the Steamers. 6:53 to remain in the third quarter, and we have got a war going on.
8:07 the time. Ebert 7th, the man advantage goal from Jeff Sendobry in his first shift of the game to put the Steamers up by a pair, 6-4. It's been a game of streaks.
Well, you know, this happens very, very often. When you have to fight to get back, and by the time you come back, there's like a psychological as well as a physical letdown. You said, "Oh my God, great, now it's 4-4. Then just when you begin to relax, and there they get two more. Now you got to work to get back into it. But this one is far from over. At this rate, they'll both go into double figures.
Well, still 6:40 remaining in the third quarter with another 15 minutes to go after that one. Here's Tony Glavin. Great move to his left, but Fernando Clavijo was there to stop him. Now here's Gomez, who has two tonight. Gomez and Holzer into the St. Louis zone. Gomez straddling along the boards with Holzer. Gomez continues. Still Omar Gomez. Works it free to Karasi, and he rolls it right in front for Ilieski. Clears it all the way down looking for Glavin. The pass goes astray, and Clavijo sends it back to Messing. Now here's Karasi. Off the far boards for Gomez. A crisscross with Clavijo. Gomez closing in. Nice play by Petcher to break it up. And a whistle by Gino. And a push against Clavijo. There's a break of the action with the score. The Steamers 6, the Arrows 4. Dan Karasi in the far corner of the New York zone. Out it comes to Omar Gomez. St. Louis up 6-4 with 5:25 left in the third quarter. This is Streniser booting it over to Karasi, and he loops it all the way down. Over the head of Slobo Liescu, plays it off the board.
But that's the genius of Karasi. He looks up, more than half the field sees the Slobo's out of position, goes over the top. If it's 5 feet over to the left, it's in the net.
All right, here's Vila having his problems with Renato Chila, but good playing by Vila to keep it alive, and then he is put down, and there's a whistle by Dipolito, and a card issued by Gino. Pushed by Gomez, and the crowd is up about 18,000 plus on their feet here at the Checkerdome.
You see a little bit of, okay, Chila, he gets a 2, but what we saw after that was Omar Gomez bumped the referee. He got a yellow, and he is going into the box. New York will be playing with 3 players. This is no time to lose your composure. Now watch. Here comes Milano dribble. Renato Chila goes down, no problem. You know, trips and a push. And now he'll go in. And see, watch. Here's a push, trip. Greg goes down. And now that's a 2-minute penalty. But later on, after this right there, number 9, Omar Gomez, came up a little bit too anxious, and he bumped the referee. Now he gets a yellow card. This is the second trip into the box. Penal offense. New York with 3, and these are the kinds of mistakes you cannot afford to make.
Omar Gomez losing his composure and bumping into the referee, and that, of course, is a no-no. So the Arrows will be 2 men short. Gino Dipolito has been the man in focus all night long. Shep Messing will have the pressure on him right now. No question about that.
You can see that concentration, and this is what Shep does very well. Now watch. You see Carl Rose right there. What they do is they put a man right in front of Shep to screen him.
All right, 2-man advantage. St. Louis. Here's Villa setting it up. Ebert centering for Rose, and Shep able to pluck it. Now here's Tuchia. Beautiful move to get away from Sendobri. Now here's Tuchia racing downfield with Don Ebert. Still Tuchia.
Look at Tuchia take on 3 players. What a tower of strength. The MISL Defender of the Year. The most underrated player for 2 years. Finally, he got some recognition.
Val Tuchia, MVP with the Rochester Lancers in 1980. 3rd year with the Arrows. Unsung hero of this club. Greg Villa will start out for St. Louis. 4.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. It's 6-4. Steamers. Game 3 of this best-of-5 championship series. Tied at 1-1. Villa. Marked by Kitson. 5-on-3. St. Louis. Villa again for the angle. It's wide. Sendobri. Rose. Villa. Blocked by Machia.
The players have to come out. Whoever's closest to the ball must come out and sacrifice their body and hope to deflect. Don't let the shot go through.
Going to be stolen by Tuchia, and he goes down hard.
John Strimlau comes through, and he gets it. And I tell you, this is like waving Flag Day. The blue card is really being waved in the air by the referee. John Strimlau sits in the box, and now the odds are a little bit better for New York. Now it'll be 4 versus 3. I tell you, those penalty box judges are really getting a work on. Now watch Tuchia come out. There's John Strimlau. Turns, obstructs. And I tell you, I'm a little bit surprised that the foul was made, but that's what it is. Tuchia spent a lot of time on the ground. And you know, for him to go down, you really have to hit him.
Nick, the 8th penalty called by Gino Dipolito on the night. A very rare occurrence in MISL play. Well, don't forget our next Arrows telecast here on SportsChannel will be on Sunday night immediately following the Mets-Astros game when Steve Jungle and the 3-time champion New York Arrows beat the St. Louis Steamers again. Game 4 of this best-of-5 MISL championship round in a tape-delay telecast from the Checkerdome here in St. Louis. The New York Arrows here on SportsChannel, your box seat to the best in New York sports.
I tell you, Steve, this has been a tremendous, tremendous series, not just of St. Louis, New York. Next chance we have, we'll tell you about how both of these teams got to where they are.
I'm glad they decided to expand the series. Last year was just a 1-game playoff, which the Arrows won 6-5 on a Steve Jungle goal with 30 seconds to go. And now it's 3 out of 5. The series tied 1-1. Paul Kitson. It's now 4-on-3. Steamers. Kitson. Over to Tuchia. Broken up by Redmond Lane. Here's Slobo Lieski. Likes to come out.
And here's where Slobo becomes very dangerous because of his ability to play with the feet.
Tony Glavin has the hat trick. Number 22 slides it over. Ty Keogh back over to Redmond Lane. Back to Keogh. They set it up. Glavin to Keogh. Off the foot of Machia.
Too much passing by St. Louis. They have the man advantage. Take it to goal. And now we're back with New York having a man advantage.
Yes, sir. Chila and Gomez, you just got a glimpse, came racing out. Stemlos in the penalty box for St. Louis. So the shoe is on the other foot. The Arrows have the advantage. Here's Gomez.
48 seconds to go. New York will have a man advantage.
Trailing by 2, 6-4, late in the third. Here's Chila. Off the fingertips of Slobo. Keogh rescues the ball, can't clear it. This is Chila, slides it over to Karasi. He's got Machia on the left. Pokes it over on the right side to Gomez. Back to Chila. He shoots. It's high. Comes out in front. And Glavin almost had a breakaway. Karasi. Machia the corner. Off the boards in front to Gomez. Chila. He shoots. And Shep all the way out to the neutral zone. 2 minutes to go on the third. 6-4 Steamers. Man advantage for the Arrows. Here's Karasi. Slides it off the Jungle. Jungle shoots too high. Hits it in. Oh, brother, what a goal. And it's 6-5 St. Louis. What a recovery in front by Jungle.
I tell you, he missed the first one. It was a golden opportunity. Shot too high. The ball came back to him and finished it with a hit. Now watch. Over the top. Ball comes back to him. You don't give Steve Jungle 2 chances. He takes the second one away. But again, not the best of marking. Man advantage situation. Look at Tate Karasi. Everything begins with him. Off to Gomez. Back to Jungle. Over the top. And now back. Head ball. Nothing that Slobo could do about it. You cannot leave Jungle inside the penalty box all alone like that. He will punish you. 6-5, and here he is again.
Here he is again. He shoots. He scores. Steve Jungle scores 2 goals within seconds, and we're tied 6-6. What a display by Steve Jungle.
You know, he has scored 3 goals in 36 seconds. He has just scored 2 within 7 seconds. Captain Z, at that time he comes through looking all alone from left wing position between the legs. Letting right between the legs. Slobo gets stuck. He's got concrete feet. The concrete is fixed, and he tucks it through, and we have got a gem going on. 6-6, half dozen each.
The shot by Cacciatore is wide. Cleared out of there by the Arrows. Gomez to Rajaback. Broken up by Villa. Taken by Slobo. Slobo got to be shell-shocked right now. Here's Jungle right on top of him. And a whistle by Gino.
Steve, you know, regardless... Oh, here we go again.
Gino's had enough from Jungle.
Ungentlemanly conduct. Steve Jungle goes into the penalty area. The call is dissent. Gino made a call. Steve pressured the call a little bit too long. And again, a man advantage situation. And Pop says, hey, what can you do?
Things have become frantic here at the Checkerdome. Jungle shaking his head after scoring 2 goals within 7 seconds. His 17th and 18th of the playoffs. He's hit with a dissent penalty from DiPolito. That is the 9th penalty issued here this evening. It comes at 13:41. Another man advantage situation for St. Louis at a 6-6 tie.
But again, you know, pressure situation. We see experienced professionals that tops of their field making emotional errors. You know, talk a little bit too much. Perhaps something that during the season wouldn't happen. But now it pays. See, here it is. Here's what happens. He says, I don't want to hear it anymore. There's the whistle. Let me find my card. Where's my plastic? Well, anyway, he found it, and Steve has to pay for it.
One thing he had no trouble finding was his whistle. And he tooted it right in Jungle's face. And Steve is gone for 2. Up.
$1,160 are witnessing
a wild affair. Game 3 of this best of 5, tied at 1-1 in the series. The Arrows lead on the ballgame 7-6, and we welcome back our video rangers to the Checkerdome. The video is back. And with that in mind, as you see Omar Gomez being attended to by trainer Bob Baldwin, there's a break of the action with the score. The Arrows 7, the Steamers 6. To be a physical ball game. Omar Gomez gets up rubbing the stomach. Seems to be okay. Paul Kitson comes out to replace him. Kitson with the go-ahead goal 17 seconds into the 4th quarter to put the Arrows up 7-6. It'll be St. Louis ball. Carl Rose of the New York zone. Rose gets it back, a left footer. Comes off to the side. And another whistle by Gino. It'll be St. Louis ball. Val Tuchscher with a violation. Here's Rose, bangs it off the glass. Look out in front with Ebert prowling around. And then a long shot by Bellinger winds up in the seats.
a little bit over 10 minutes, and now the concentration factor comes in. Do not make mistakes, because at this time you will not have too many opportunities to correct it. So New York must keep coming forward, but not take unnecessary chances. You've got a goal lead. Don't sit on it. Keep going forward. Here we have a foul. But always have balance on defense. Don't let them counterattack on you.
It's been a very emotional ball game. Thus the many penalties, something you don't see very often. 9 or 10 penalties in the ball game tonight.
I tell you, the trainers, Alex Inote and Bob Baldwin, they have work tonight.
All right, Kitson, some good ball handling. Feeds Tuchscher. Slides it all the way on the far side for Matria. Now St. Lot digs it away from Holzer. Arrows playing ball control right now with a slim one-goal lead, 7-6. They were trailing 1.3-0 and 4-1 and 6-4. They've come back not only to tie, but to go ahead for the first time in the ball game. Here's Jungle, who scored 2 goals within 7 seconds in the third quarter, late third quarter. Here's Tuchscher.
And the Steamers now putting a lot of pressure on the ball. They're playing man-to-man, pressure on the ball. So New York must really work very hard, play a lot of one-touch soccer, keep the ball moving. Let them chase, let them run, which is the only thing they can do.
The foul on Kitson for pushing. Carl Rose will put it in. Lappin right down midfield. Touch left on St. Lot. Lappin, who has the hat trick, picking up speed of the corner. John Spremlau. Rose at the point. Lavin top of the penalty area. Oh, a whipping of a shot goes too high into the seats. It's a quick move.
The ever-dangerous Lavin, you know, he has all the skill, all the requirements. He's not a big guy. He's a little guy, but very mobile, very agile, and he is deadly around the penalty area. You saw him that time create a half an opportunity, shot a little bit too high. But he has the best one-on-one skill of the St. Louis team.
Tony Glavin, 5'6", 150. 3 goals tonight. There he is heading the ball in the direction of Villa, but it's broken up by Machia. Kitson gets away from Beck. Kitson shoots it wide. 9:30 to go in the fourth. 7-6 Arrows. Looking to take a 2-1 lead. Long drive by Liverich is off the mark. Kehoe. Nice threading of the needle to Glavin. Tony Glavin sets it up for Kehoe on the left side. Ty closing in. Glavin shot blocked by Kitson. Out it comes to Liverich with Bick to break it up. Zlatar recovers. Here's Chila. Liverich. Nice move. Moving in. He shoots. It's blocked right up the back of Villa.
I tell you, last night's practice, Mark, was deadly. He kept on powdering the goal. And almost that time came through again.
Sammy Beck with Machia in front of him. Decides to retreat. Moves it on Sandlot. Beck picks up speed. Smothered by Shep. Clears it out to Liverich. Pair of tens, Liverich and Kehoe. The Liverich falls down. Arrows ball. Jeff Mantell, the alternate ref, making the call. Time becoming a factor. 8:18 to go.
Here we see the foul. Now there's the obstruction that's being called on Ty Kehoe. He didn't like the call, but it happened right in front of the referee, Jeffrey Mantell. No big thing.
Gets it in Petcher now in the corner of the St. Louis zone. Petcher rolls it over to Slobo Ilievsky. Set an MISL record with a goals against average of 3.85 during the regular season. Petcher weaving his way downfield. Over to Holzer. Holzer tries to thread the needle. It's broken up by Machia. All the way down to midfield to Liverich. 2 against 3. Good move by Liverich around Cacciatore. Liverich trying to take advantage of the size difference now and rolls it back for Kitson. Marked by Eber. Look out. Shep came out to break it up.
Paul played that ball back to Shep. Didn't put enough pace on the ball and made a dangerous situation. Those are the kind of mistakes you cannot afford to make.
Very careless. Cacciatore. Holzer and Chila. Chila breaks it up neatly. Pried loose by Renato. Doing it all. Chila racing down with a backpedaling Rose, staring him face to face. Here's Liverich. Over to Chila. Chila cuts left. Chila still with it, and he dumps it back to the point man, Juan Carlos Machia.
I tell you, great super piece of work by Renato. He won the ball, dribbled the length of the field, put on some good individual moves. I tell you, he is another one of those. He is one of the original Arrows. 4 years with the team. One of the unsung heroes. All-star defender. Good one to watch.
One of 3 originals, Shep Messing, Steve Jungle, and Renato Chila. Used to be Luis Alberto until he was traded to Cleveland. One of the other originals. It is 7-6 New York with 6:37 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Arrows storming from behind to take the lead. Oh, brother! It almost got behind Shep Messing.
You know, we don't see too many air balls in the indoor game, but Donnie Ebert is one of the best young American players in the air. And that time he showed his skills. Now we see Zungel coming. Now here it goes. You see that back flick? A little bit too high. Otherwise, Shep had come out. Would have gone in if it had been a bit lower.
22-year-old Don Ebert. And we're tied again. 7-7. Just like that. With 6:31 to go in regulation.
I tell you, when the Rays are pours, I don't know who they're going to give that goal to. The corner kick was taken, the ball hit Fernando Clavillo, went in. So we just have to wait for the official score to hear it. But no doubt it still gets the Steamer fans up. They like it. The Lucky Sevens are up. Like this, Carl Rose. And Clavillo goes in. Nothing you can do about it. The ball's by Shep. Fernando's played a good game, hands-on hit. Those things do happen every so often. What can you do?
Well, the last steamer to touch it was Rose, so I guess I'll give it to Carl. Yep, that's his 6th of the playoffs. The former Arrow comes back to haunt his old team and ties up the game 7-7. Unfortunate turn of events for the Arrows as it went off one of their own players behind Shep Messing. There's a commotion in the crowd right now as the emotions have carried over into the seats, not only on the field but in the stands as well. It is a hot, extremely muggy day, and 18,160 are here at the Checkerdome to witness this very, very exciting and emotional ball game, championship round game between the Arrows and the Steamers, and emotions running high in the stands.
We're looking at the scoreboard, and the score is 7-up. I wonder if those guys had a little bit too much of it.
They're going to need a lot of it after this one. Well, they've got to be drained. They are working hard down there. Here's Gomez. Slides it over to Strenicer. 6:20 to go at a 7-7 tie. Gomez shoots. He scores! Omar Gomez puts the Arrows up 8-7. His 3rd goal of the night.
And you know, when Glavin scored his hat trick, we had to stop the action so they could remove the hat. Not a one is out of the field. Couple pom-poms, but no hats. There are the pom-poms the Slobo's throwing out. Here we see the action. Over to Gomez. Now here's the individual work that he can do. Ready, left foot, crank it up. Danny Big goes, reaches for the ball. No, here we go again. Clavillo goes on a dribble. Gomez does. Shoots from one on top of the D. Screen. Steve Zungles is the first to celebrate. 8-7. That's how quickly a lead can stay in the indoor game.
Number 10 for Gomez, the hat trick on the night from Fernando Clavillo off his header to Omar. 8:46 the time, 8-7 New York. Here's a steal by Strenicer with 5:45 left in the 4th. Nice move by Lane. Vick! That was off net. But Shep taking no chances. Steve Jungle. But a whistle.
Now there was a trip. Steve tripped Sam Vick, and it was a foul. It was unintentional, but still a foul. Here we get to see Sam Vick gets position now. Steve trips him, but he's going for the ball.
Oh, I don't know. It looked like he tripped over the ball. All right, now Karasi. Back to Strenicer.
And again, we see that pressure. Keep that ball moving. St. Louis must come after it.
This crowd not giving up. 18,000 plus.
5 minutes to go. Plenty of time.
Glavin, the steal by Strenicer. Karasi back heels it down to Clavijo. And here come the Arrows with a 1-goal lead. 4:50 to go. Rose. Glavin controlling the ball. Rose on the right. Rose coming in. Blocked by Gomez. Taken off the board. They're missing a loose ball. And Shep pounces on top.
Now there'll be a foul. Tony Glavin, dangerous play against that man right there. Shep Messing, number 1. Here we get to see the action. Now look at Shep. Plays the ball off the board. Tony Glavin comes in. Can't do that. The goalkeeper's got possession. Can't knock it out of his hands once he's got possession of the ball. New York ball, and Captain G goes on the attack.
Steve Jungle closing it on Ty Keogh. Gomez lost possession. Here's Carl Rose. Glavin is hanging. Glavin back with Razorback. Cuts to his left. He shoots. Oh, he just missed. Just missed tying it up.
He let the cannon go. That would have been his 4th for the game. Just hit up in the 90, but it didn't go.
Ron St. Lot motors downfield. Gaining speed with every movement. Here's Gomez looking for 4. Blocked in front by Bellinger.
Again, the quickness of the release.
All right, here's Slobo. with 3:55 to go in the fourth. 8-7 Arrows. Bellinger. Ebert. Marked by Cookshaw. Ebert cuts right. Slides it to the penalty area. Bellinger. Loose in front to Lane. Broken up, though, by Zlatar. Winds up out of play. 3:37 on the clock. St. Louis will put it in. Here's Villa. Bellinger. Oh, in front for Cacciatore, but broken up. Foot race. Rose and Jungle. St. Lot with room. Cacciatore gets it away from Tuksha. 3:15 to go. He
I tell
sets
you,
it
that
up.
matchup between Cacciatore and Tuksha was interesting. Mighty man against the mouse.
David and Goliath. Whistle. Pointing the finger at Tuksha again. Steamers will continue their attack in the New York zone with 3 minutes exactly to go. Altros, nervous time. 8-7 Arrows. Headed out by St. Lot, but not out of the zone. Now St. Lot kicks it free for Kitson. He's got Jungle up ahead. He finds Steve. Jungle shoots. Kick save by Slobo Ilieski.
Slobo reacts so quickly. That time Steve telegraphed his shot a little bit too soon. And Slobo was there to make the kick save. 99% of the goalkeepers could not have reacted that quickly.
This crowd of better than 18,000 urging the Steamers on. Moving in is Stremlau. Broken up by Tuksha. Stremlau recovers. Ebert gets it. Ebert shoots. Blocked by the Jungle of Karasi in front. Oh, it's there! It bounced in. We're tied. 8-8. Steve Petcher bounces it behind Chet Messing with 2 minutes and 18 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
Talk about bringing the roof down. But now, look at Steve Petcher pumping the crowd. But Steve, I'm sure we'll get that on a replay. Now let's look to see if my eyes were correct and that was a deflection. I think that may have gone off of one of the New York defenders. But this crowd is savoring the moment. They are in there. St. Louis moves. Watch, the first shot is blocked. Petcher comes in. Now he shoots. Now watch for the deflection. Watch now. And I think Carlos Mejia got a piece of it. We'll get to see it again. Watch Carlos. Does he get it? Shep was moving to his right. The ball was up on his left. I think yes. We'll find out after the game when we get it right from their mouth. But in either case, it doesn't make any difference. The score is 8 up, 2:14 remaining.
Petcher's third playoff goal. Here comes Paul Kitson the other way. Sammy Bicknell off the boards to Larry Hulser. Rose, Glavin, gaining speed around Sheila. Glavin moving, and he's got Hulser in front. He shoots off the chest of Chet Messing. 1:50 to go in an 8-8 tie. Down to Jungle. One man back in Rose. Jungle shoots. He scores! But it's being disallowed. It's being disallowed. DiPolito whistled it off.
There was a foul made at midfield prior to it. So John Popovich staring in silence. Nothing you can do about it. The referee, the whistle has blown. No goal.
Paul Kitson, Sheila on the near side. Loose in front. Cleared out of there by Sammy Bick. 1:30 to go. 8-8 tie. 2-on-1 if they hurry. Bick to Hulser. He tripped over the ball. Karasi.
Larry Hulser all alone tripped over the ball. What a golden opportunity, Steve.
Unbelievable. They're looking for Jungle. It winds up in the Arrows bench with 1:13 on the clock. This has been furious from start to finish. Tremendous end-to-end action all night long. Dramatic ball game. Game 3, tied at 1. There's a good close-up of that famous orange ball.
It's not a brand new, but you can see the scuffs on it. There's a lot of bruises on the players as well. This has been some intense game. Every year it becomes more and more difficult to repeat the championship performance. The first year was kind of initiation. The second year was difficult. Last year was a very tough one. But I tell you, all of the games that they have won so far or played in have been bruises, and this is no exception.
Arrows looking for their 4th consecutive MISL championship. Looking to take a 2-1 lead in the best-of-5 series. Here's the lead pass for Jungle. It's headed out of there by Bellinger. 55 seconds to go in the 4th, and an 8-8 tie. Cacciatore ahead of Villa. It is intercepted by Tila. 46 seconds to go. Gomez, who has the hat trick. Gomez shoots off the glass and cleared out of there. 38 seconds to go. Racing down is Villa. Villa with Machia gets it up to little Jeff Cacciatore. Cacciatore with a bunch of head fakes. Gets it back with 28 seconds to go. He loops it to the near side, broken up on a sliding stop by Carrassi. 20 seconds to go, 8-8 tie. Nice steal by Cacciatore, who is all over the place. 15 seconds to go. Villa shoots off the shoulder of Machia. Oh, a drive that's stopped by Messing. Look out in front. Oh, what a save by Messing on the shot by Villa. Oh, what another save by Messing. Unbelievable. Petcher lets it fly. Whacked away by Messing as time runs out in regulation play. An incredible display of goalkeeping. And look at this. Shep Messing is getting the congratulations from one of his opponents, Steve Petcher. Unbelievable. Awesome exhibition of goalkeeping by Shep Messing. Here it is, the final seconds.
Now you watch the clock and watch this action. One save, the clearance. Just watch the quickness of the goalkeeper. There's another one. Watch this. Third one. Now, this whole thing started with 11 seconds on the clock. 4 point-blank saves by Shep Messing.
Shep Messing saves the day. We'll come back with overtime. The score at the end of regulation play. The St. Louis Steamers 8, the New York Arrows 8.
Your Sunday night on SportsChannel starts off with thoroughbred action at 7. Join Harvey Pack and Frank Dwyer as they call all the action from trackside. Then at 7:40, SportsChannel presents a baseball special. Big League Managers. Who's in charge? Join Fran Healy as he takes an inside look at managing in the Major Leagues. Then at 8:30, it's time for Mets baseball as the New York Mets travel to Houston to take on the Astros live from the Astrodome. And immediately following the Mets at 11, the New York Arrows face the St. Louis Steamers in a tape-delay telecast of Game 4 of the best-of-5 MISL Championship Series. Thoroughbred action, baseball, and soccer. 3 good reasons to stay with SportsChannel this season.
They are standing here at the Checkerdome, 18,160 strong. And what a night they have witnessed. 8-8 as we headed to overtime.
Well, the game started with a score 0-0. It is exactly at that point, except 16 goals have been scored. 8 by each team. The emotions are high. Everybody is soaring in this place. And, you know, we said in the last 5 times that these teams have met, the biggest difference, margin of goals, has been 2 goals, and that was last time these 2 teams met at Sunday. The first game, 3-2 in overtime, won by the Steamers, and here we are, 8-8. And if the crowd is worth a couple goals, St. Louis has them.
This is the Steamers' 3rd overtime game of the playoffs. It's the Arrows' 2nd overtime game of the playoffs. Or 3rd. It's both the 3rd.
Yeah, because they played overtime in Buffalo. The game that they were losing, won it in overtime 5-4. So 1-3-2 against these Steamers right here. And now you talk about pressure and how to become a professional athlete. This is where the pressure cooker is. It's on everybody.
Well, certainly rising to the pressure situation with Shep Messing in the final 10-11 seconds of that fourth. Stopping shot after shot from point-blank range and keeping the Arrows in this thing to send it into the extra session. Our next Arrows telecast on Sports Channel will be on Sunday night immediately following the Mets-Astros game when Steve Jungle and the three-time champion Arrows beat the St. Louis Steamers in Game 4 of this best-of-5 Major Indoor Soccer League Championship Series in a tape-delay telecast from the Checkerdome here in St. Louis. New York Arrows Soccer on Sports Channel, your box seat to the best in New York sports. Sudden death overtime. If it's still tied at the end of 15 minutes, we go to the very rare shootout. Here we go. They switch sides. Shep Messing on the right, Slobo Ilieski on the left. And we're underway in overtime. Tony Bellinger dumps it into the New York zone. Redmond Lane.
We were tied at 4, we were tied at 6, and we're tied with 8. We will not be tied at 9. Whoever gets it will be the winner.
The Arrows coming back after trailing 3-0, trailing 4-1. They finally surged ahead on Paul Kitson's goal after Jungle scored 2 goals within 7 seconds in the late third. Arrows took the 7-6 lead on Kitson's goal. Then Carl Rose tied it at 7. Omar Gomez with his hat-trick goal made it 8-7 Arrows in the fourth. And then Steve Petcher tying it up at 12:42 of the fourth quarter. And here we are at overtime. Val Tuchia cuts left on glove, and he closes in. Broken up by Petcher. Steve Petcher, who went over to Shep Messing to shake his hand after that amazing exhibition of goalkeeping in the final 10 seconds of the fourth quarter.
Well, players, no matter whose side they're on, they appreciate outstanding performances.
Strenicer blocked it. Steve Jungle behind Strenicer. Jungle takes a spill. Here's Slobo. Tony Glavin with those magical feet. Petcher delivers to the goods down to Ty Keogh. Easy stop for Shep. Clears it out to Clavillo. And Gomez dumps it in. Bouncing ball off the head of Slobo, cleared out of there. Strenicer, look out for Lane. 13:30 to go in overtime. And back it goes to Shep. Well, the first game between these two teams last Friday, the Steamers won 3-2 in overtime. The goal coming at 5:55 of the overtime, the winner by Tony Glavin. We'll see what happens here tonight.
And here we see the new rule this year. The ball came back from midfield back to the goalkeeper. He picked it up with his hands, which he's not allowed to do. This is considered a stalling tactic. It will be an indirect kick right in that spot. Very dangerous. They've got to make a 4-man wall.
Here it is. Jungle shoots, and it's blocked by the wall. Glavin racing down, picking up speed, but Clavijo hammered him. And the foul.
And Fernando is saying, no, referee. Now watch you decide. Now look at this good tackle. He takes him to the outside. Now you see they're running shoulder to shoulder. Glavin falls down. Who am I to get?
Now back live, it's Gene Strenicer. He's got Jungle open on the right. And it's taken away, though, by Stemlau. Lane.
And St. Louis has come out with more intensity than New York. New York being a little bit cautious.
Redmond Lane, number 19. Glavin back to Lane, closing it. Oh, he got it behind Shep, but off the boards and through the crease.
Not as dangerous as it looks, Steve, because Shep had cut off the angle to the goal. He had to play it against the boards. Got everybody on their feet, but Shep knew what he was doing.
And they start out again. Here's Vick. Sammy Vick. Rose from the angle, banks it off the boards. Nobody home in front in blue. So the Arrows take over. 8-8 in overtime, 12-10 to go. The extra session. Here's Val Tuchia closing in. Steve Jungle Centers it right through the penalty area, and Greg Villa takes over for St. Louis. Villa drops it back to Rose. Here's Cacciatore. And Rose from midfield sends it into the New York zone. Oh, a diving save by Shep Messick. Oh, Franz St. Louis is upended, and the pushing violation on St. Louis.
Here we see the save that Shep made. Good shot by Villa. Goes down. Look at Glavin is poaching. Not on his feet, though. Can't tuck it away. Good save. High left.
Ball gets it racing away from Cacciatore. Flipped over by Don Ebert. No call. The clean tackle. Here's Jungle now all the way over to Franz St. Louis on the far side. Franz St. Louis now zeroing in. His shot blocked by Carl Rose. Greg Villa, the big guy, waits for help and sends it back to Rose. 11 minutes remaining in the overtime. Tied at 8. Game 3 of this best-of-5 series. Tied at 1. The championship series. Here's Kitson. St. Louis on the left. St. Louis in deep. Banks it on the boards loose. And Jungle scores! And the Arrows win it 9-8. The celebration for the New York Arrows, who take a lead of 2-1 and setting this huge crowd of over 18,000 home unhappy. How appropriate that the scoring machine win it for the New York Arrows. Steve Jungle, who scored 2 goals within 7 seconds earlier. You saw a dejected Al Trost walk off. An emotionally packed ball game. Steve Jungle raising his hands in victory, shaking hands with Chino Cipollito. He wasn't doing that earlier. What a night. The Arrows coming from behind. How many times they had to battle back here in this ball game. So many heroes involved. There's one of them. Steve Jungle, Shep Messick, Omar Gomez. Steve getting the hug. Let's take another look.
Now here Franz St. Louis comes down, dribbles deep off the boards, running into space when he does better than anybody else. Beats Carl Rose to the spot, tucks it away, and now look at all the celebration. The high fives are flying. They take him down on the floor. You think he's happy? You bet he is. Now while this was happening right here, you enjoyed this. Out of the goal, Shep Messick came running out into the arms of Zoltan Tost. The 2 guys that have shared the responsibilities of the Arrows at the other end. They hugged each other. The Arrows wound up on the floor, streamers flying at them. Emotion, the people are slowly and silently strolling out of here. But I tell you, 9-8, what a great game.
So we'll sum it up for you momentarily. The final score in overtime. The New York Arrows 9, the St. Louis Steamers 8.
Excuse-moi, can you spare $5.15 for a cup of coffee?
I think prices are high now. Wait till the year 2000.
Hey, bologna's on sale.
This is a real steal, $4,100 a month, with a view.
Well, there's help. Chemical Bank's IRA. You'll get a giant tax break now and tax-deferred interest. So someday you could retire a millionaire. After all, you'll need it.
Okay, 31 now, but I'm practically giving it away.
Chemicals Tax Shelter IRA.
The Islanders win the Stanley Cup.
3 in a row. SportsChannel congratulates the world champion New York Islanders on winning their 3rd Stanley Cup championship in the last 3 years. SportsChannel says, way to go, Islanders.
Well, it started out like the 4th of July here at the Checkerdome, a packed house of 18,160. It is now like a morgue. They're filing out, dejected over the fact that the New York Arrows have come from behind to defeat the St. Louis Steamers 9-8 in overtime. A hat trick for Steve Jungle, the 3rd one coming at 4:13 of the overtime period, providing the game winner for the Arrows, and a night of celebration for New York, taking a 2-1 lead in this best-of-5 championship round.
Well, this was a pivotal game. I think all the players and the coaches agreed, and I think the fans knew about it. And certainly it came down really to the wire. What else can you say?
Well, there are so many heroes, it is difficult to begin. You really got to point the finger at Shep Messing in the final seconds of that fourth quarter with the score tied at 8-8. He was bombarded with an awesome flurry of shots from point-blank range, one after another in the final 10 seconds, and he put on a miraculous exhibition to keep this game alive for New York.
Well, like you said, Steve, it's very difficult to pinpoint the one individual, and I don't think there is one individual. Glavin was super, but again, so were a number of other people. Petcher got the tying goal with a couple minutes to go. Gomez had a hat trick. Kitson came through, got 2 goals. Steve Zungel, of course, how long can you keep him off the board? And again, in the championship games, it is championship players that make the championship teams. And I think the best players won.
Well, we're going to take a big, deep breath and try to recover from this long night, a long, hot, muggy night here at the Checkerdome in St. Louis, and get ready for the next game, Game 4 of this best-of-5 series, which will be coming up on Sunday night. And it'll be on tape delay after the Mets-Astros game. And if the Arrows prevail that night, it's all over. They'll win their 4th consecutive MISL championship. That's the story with a tremendous crowd on hand, over 18,160. They go home disappointed. The final score in overtime on Steve Zungel's game winner, the New York Arrows 9 and the St. Louis Steamers 8. Join us again Sunday night immediately following the Mets-Astros game for a tape delay telecast when the New York Arrows meet the St. Louis Steamers. Game 4 of this best-of-5 MISL Championship Series here in the Checkerdome. And earlier that evening at 7:40 p.m., SportsChannel is proud to present a baseball special. It's called Big League Managers, Who's in Charge? Join Fran Healy as he takes an inside look at managing in the major leagues with expert commentary by managers, coaches, players, and media representatives. Big League Managers, Who's in Charge? Sunday night at 7:40, only on SportsChannel. Remember, when you can't get to the game, get the game at home on SportsChannel. It's your box seat to the best in New York sports at home. For Nick Zlatar and our entire crew here at the Checkerdome, this is Steve Albert saying so long, everybody.